So, right, so the first card you got, you passed the moon. Right, there's a lot of, this is a really moody card. So there's a lot of stress here, a lot of problems, a lot of inner problems someone's keeping hidden. Very moody energy, very difficult energy in this card. Now, I don't think this is about you, actually. You can be a little bit moody, I have to say, but I don't think this is about you. This is about someone else. It feels like this is about someone from your past, I think. Now, they're around your energy, they're around you. It feels like you're still thinking about them, actually. You might say to me, no, I don't think about them. I think you do. I think they're still on your mind. You still check their social media, I think, sometimes. And you go to bed and sometimes you close your eyes and you think about this person. If that's this person, this is what I'm seeing here for someone. So now I'm literally seeing someone's back here. So it looks like they turned their back on you at one time. It might be literally that they turned their back on you, because I'm getting a conversation you wanted to have with them, and they wouldn't have that conversation with you. That's what I'm getting. And lots of confusion. There's a lot of confusion in their heart. I think there still is right now. Definitely at that time, there was a lot of confusion in their heart, a lot of confusion in their head. Now, I don't think you had a great big conversation. I don't think you had a great big argument and they walked off and turned their back. I'm not getting that kind of thing. It feels more like they were very quiet. They weren't opening up. They weren't telling you things. You knew they had a lot on their mind. You knew that. You know, that they were like this moon card. Their face looked like that moon. Very down, very upset, worried about something. And you tried to get them to open up and they wouldn't do that. And I think they literally had their back to you at one time and you came up behind them and you spoke to them. And I don't think they opened up to you. I'm seeing that very clearly for someone here. I'm getting I'm getting wounds, I'm getting bruises, a bruised ego. So there was something that bruised their ego. Maybe it was something that you said without realizing it. They already had a very, very bruised ego, or a very up and down self-esteem, let's say that, because they had a lot of problems around them. And I think you bruised that without realizing it. I'm not blaming you. They really should have opened up to you. They really should have told you what the problem was, but they didn't do that. Because as an Aries, you want to have it out. You want to talk. You want everything to be out in the open. Of course you do. So, okay. Now, if you feel, if you're thinking now, oh, they never loved me, they didn't love me, they did love you. You've got the lovers right in the middle here. But there was a lot on their mind. You're right that there was something they were hiding from you, if that's how you were thinking or feeling about them. And they were hiding something from you. Not because they didn't want to tell. I'm not getting, cheating or anything like that. You know, there's no Seven of Swords here. There's nothing like that here. But they had a lot going on in their life. They had a lot going on in their personal life. And I think you knew a little bit about this. I think you helped them with this. I think I'm actually seeing you sitting next to them in some kind of place where you are helping them with this. I don't know, supporting them in some way. I'm getting that. But they weren't hiding something horrible from you. They were just hiding a lot of these really deep, difficult things they were going through. And I don't think they could even explain it to themselves. I don't think they could get it all clear in their head, because that's what the moon card's all about. It's all about being all mixed up in your head. And also you've got the Two of Pentacles here, juggling lots of things, all mixed up, not knowing what to do, feeling like you're about to fall over. That's how they were feeling at the time. So, yeah, I keep on seeing this back. They definitely turn their back on you, literally and also metaphorically. So, or that's how it feels to you. And you can see that in the Five of Cups down the bottom here. I'll just lift it up so you can see. So there are two cups behind this man here. And you feel like, oh, they turned their back on the relationship. They turned their back on the two of us. And they did do that, but it was just because they had a lot going on. Now, I'm not making excuses for them. I'm absolutely not. I'm just telling you what the situation was for them. So Yeah, there's a lot of family problems. There might have even been some kind of addiction problem. Sometimes the moon can be about that, or some kind of very, very difficult thing going on with them. Lots and lots of pressure on them. Lots of confusion as well. You've got the Seven of Cups there as well. So because of their confusion, they confused you. And I think you were like, oh, no one turns their back on me. No one turns their back on us. No one turns their back on, a relationship with me. I'm Aries. I don't chase. I don't put up with that. I'm moving on. And I think you did that. But there's a part of you that always has that. I wonder what would have happened if we had have got, stayed together. I wonder what would have happened now. I wonder what they're doing now. You've got all that going on inside you if that's you. And I've got to tell you, they're thinking the same of you. So with this Five of Cups right down the bottom here again, obviously they're still thinking about you. They've still got a lot going on inside them. That they haven't healed from what happened between you. It feels like they've got this mask on. Actually, it's like a plaster, because I was getting bruises, I was getting wounds, things like that, and they put a plaster over the wound. So they might have had other relationships after you, and what they were putting a plaster over the wound, but it didn't heal. The plasters, the people they were with after you, did not heal their wound. It's still there. And they're still thinking about you. Very deep wound. So yeah, they're holding out some hope. I think you're going to hear from them again. You've got this bridge again on this Five of Cups here. So yeah, I think they're going to try and talk to you at some time. So just be aware of that. I think when they do that, it's going to stir up a lot of feelings inside you. And I think you might be tempted to shut the door, because it's like, no, they turn their back on me. I'm going to do the same with them. And that's a big Aries thing that you do. And I've done it myself. It's like, no one treats me like that. I'm shutting the door. But I do think you're going to be a little bit backwards and forwards about this in your feelings, because there are feelings there. There absolutely are. So I just have to tell you that this person is going to come back and talk to you at some time. They're going to try and reconcile. If they do that, they're going to have to open up and be honest with you about absolutely everything, because that's all you're going to accept from them. That's what I'm seeing. If you decide to talk to them at all, you might not. So that's kind of what I'm getting now. Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit more about this Two of Pentacles. So I'll put that down so you can see that now. Right, so I'm getting something really specific, and it's really big for someone here. Someone's really struggling financially. You can see that with the Two of Pentacles. They're very down about this. Under that, again, with this Five of Cups. So maybe you've lost a job. Maybe you're not as financially stable as you used to be. A lot of people are like this. I'm getting this all in these readings, financial instability. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the world right now. We all know what that is. So for someone here, there's a big opportunity coming up. It might be a job offer. It might be a business kind of offer. It does feel like a job, actually. Now, what I'm getting here is to accept this offer, or when someone comes in with this offer for you, you might have a bit of a kind of emotional response to that, because I think this might be somewhere you worked before, or it might be someone that's come and made you an offer before. It might be someone you've had some kind of issue with. You've had some kind of problem with them, because what I'm looking at in with this Two of Pentacles is there's a big crash with these two ships behind this man. You can see that. And all the water's the emotion. So you remember what happened in your past between you, that you had some kind of clash with them, and you're all emotional about that, and you're all kind of angry, or you were at the time. They're going to come back and offer you something. Now, it's not going to be that exact same person that you had that clash with. So if the person you had the clash with, I know this is very specific, but I need to say this for someone. If the person you've had that clash with is the person who offered you this last offer that you had that problem with, they're not going to be the same person that offers you this. It's going to be under the company or under that umbrella or something like that, but it's not going to be the exact person. If you worked for a place and you had a big problem with someone there, might be the boss, might be someone else, I don't know, that issue or that problem or that person, they're not there now. So what this is telling you is try and move past the feelings you have that are behind you. It's water under the bridge. The water's behind this man in the Two of Pentacles. The water's literally under the bridge. You can see that here in the Five of Cups. Water is under the bridge. That emotion's past. Put it in the past. Swallow your pride if you need to. There's a big offer coming in. It's a very good one. It's going to lead to other things. And I think it's really going to propel you up to another level coming up for the new year if you say yes to this offer. So really think about that. Really try and put your emotions beside you, or behind you, I should say. And I really think you should say yes to this, because especially if you're really struggling financially, you know, especially, you've really got to swallow your pride if that's you. I know that's really hard for an Aries. Someone needs to hear that, and I hope the right person gets to hear that. So I'll put that down again, because I'm going to talk about the Two of Pentacles again, because I think I'm getting lots of twos, because I'm getting a couple here, I'm getting the Lovers here, and confusion around that across the middle, going across, yeah, just horizontally across the middle. So I'm seeing more things there with love. Anyway, I'm going to go right into your present with this Wheel of Fortune, and hopefully that'll come up. So, right, so yeah, with your present, you've got this Wheel of Fortune. That's the first card you've got there. Yeah, really interesting sequence going across horizontally, actually, across the top, because you've got the same kind of thing. Have a look at this wheel here. It's going forwards. So if you say yes to this offer, it's the Wheel of Fortune, the Wheel of Money. If you say yes to this offer, you'll be propelled forward into the Temperance card, where she's rising up onto the next level, money-wise, or however else wise, confidence-wise probably as well. But if you say no, what's going to happen is the wheel's going to turn backwards into the Moon card, into sadness, into sorrow. It's probably not going to be that, you know, clean card, but that's what that sequence is telling you there. So I wanted to point that out to someone here again, that there's all this evidence here that you really should swallow your pride, put the past behind you, and say yes to this. It's definitely going to be really good for you financially. It really, really is. And you've got the Ten of Pentacles here, so that's building up your money in the future. So this is what's going to build up for you next year and raise up your level, put you up on the next level financially, if you put your emotions behind you. Okay, so I'm not going to say any more about that, hopefully, unless it comes up again. Right, so, okay, right, I'm getting passion in this wheel. I'm getting lots of passion. Yeah, this is what I'm getting. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but it feels like a promise, a promise of passion. So I think with this love connection, with this person you're still thinking about, if that's you, something wasn't fulfilled here. I think there was passion that wasn't fulfilled. I think you both wanted a lot of passion, and something came along and stopped that. There's a lot of chemistry. There was a lot of love there. And I think something stopped you from getting closer, you know, intimate-wise, passion-wise. Yeah, there was a lot more talk than action. That's what I'm getting. So it's like maybe it was that you were far away from each other, and you had lots of talks about, oh, when we get together, this and that and all that kind of thing. And then maybe when you got together, there was all this going on in their head, and maybe a lot of that was unfulfilled. But yeah, when they come back, I think they're going to talk to you about a lot of that. Because, you know, orange, obviously it's made up of, you know, red and yellow. Red's obviously passion. Yellow, to me, is about communication. So I think they'll get together and they'll talk to you, and they'll explain all that to you of why all this happened. And I think that was down to them. I really think, if this is you, it feels like you wanted to go further with this. And because of everything that was in their head, they couldn't do that. So that's what I'm getting. But yeah, again, I'm getting this. When they come back and talk to you, it does feel quite backwards and forwards with you. You know, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can trust them again. You know, they're coming back again with this wheel. It's turning around again into the Lovers card. And, you know, the other thing is there are two snakes here. there's one in the Wheel of Fortune, and obviously there's one in the Lovers card, because it's Adam and Eve there, and there's a snake in the tree behind her. So you might be thinking, well, are they actually coming back to open up to me? Are they going to communicate? Are they going to tell me all this properly and be honest and tell me everything? Or are they coming back because they're a snake? You know, do they want something from me? So you're going to be really going through your head with all this, I think, when they come back. You've got the Queen of Swords down there again. Obviously, she's like, I'm worried about this. I'm guarding myself. I don't know if I want this. So, you know, you've got the door closed because they closed the door on you, or they turned their back on you with that Queen of Swords. But yeah, the wheel's turning around. So you'll be going up and down, backwards and forwards in your heart about, oh, I've got feelings for them, but I don't want to be played. I don't want to be taken for a fool. I want to say no. So you've got all that going on in your head. So, you know, take your time with this. Absolutely take your time with this. Just tell them where you are. Just say, look, you've done this to me. You turned your back on me. I don't know if I can trust you. I have to be honest. So you've just got to bear with me. I'm going to have to take my time. I'm going to have to take my time with this and really think about this carefully. And that they're going to have to accept that. They are going to have to accept that from you if this does go ahead. Okay, there's a surprise here. Yeah, that they want to rekindle things. You've obviously with this Lovers card, but something's coming to light. Something's coming to light. It feels like a surprise. So there's something you don't know about them. It's coming to light. It's going to be revealed. That's what I'm getting here. It feels a bit painful for them. It might actually feel painful for you because it's about something that they should have said to you. It might be about something they weren't honest with, actually. I have to be honest with that. So, but yeah, if you look at the sun rising up behind the angel in the Lovers card, this is about the light shining up. This is about, I want to reveal this to you so that I can get back into the lovers mode with you. That's what I'm getting in that card. Again, really take your time, go slowly with this, really, and go slowly with any decisions you have to make this month. That's what I'm getting there, not just this love decision, but in this work one, with anything else at all you have to make. I'm getting lots of decisions you have to make. And I think what's happening is you're in preparation for what's going to happen in the new year, because I'm seeing a lot of action happening in the new year, and right now you're in preparation mode. So be careful of all the decisions you're making now. Don't stress about that. Nothing's set in stone, but just take your time with everything. That's what I'm getting. Okay, I'm just getting something else with this Queen of Swords here. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of, there's obviously she's the queen, so this is a feminine energy. And yeah, a lot of people see this queen as a widow. And, she's got this really beautiful bracelet on her hand, which has a tassel hanging down, and that can be a symbol of a widow. Women used to wear those if they were widows. So some people say she's not, some people say she is, but she's obviously been through a lot. She's obviously been through a lot of hardship in her life. That's why she has her sword up. It feels like there's someone in your life who's had a loss here. And it's a feminine energy, so this is obviously a woman that's in your life, if this is you. So I think someone's left them, or someone's going to leave them, or they've had some kind of loss in their life, some kind of big loss. They're really struggling with this loss. That's what I'm getting. With this Queen of Swords, she doesn't show her feelings. She comes across as being, I'm strong, I know what I'm doing, I've got my sword up, I'm in battle mode. But actually, she does feel a lot. She's very caring, she's very loving, she's got all these children in her throne, and she's up there in the air, and so she's a very loving, caring queen, but she doesn't show that to the outside world. So I think whoever this says, might be an aunt, might be a mother, feels like an older woman, might be a grandmother. Whoever this is, they're going through a lot right now, and they're not telling you what's happening. They're putting on a brave face, if that makes sense. So if you know who this is, if you know who's someone who's been through a loss, they've been through some problems, someone's left or something like that's happened, really get in touch with them, really talk to them, and don't just talk to them, really try and get them to open up to you. Because I think if you can do that, They will open up eventually. They'll tell you what the problem is, and then you'll be able to help them properly. So you've really got to do a bit of work to get them to open up. But yeah, you contact them. They're not going to contact you because they're trying to hide what they're going through. So I really hope the right person gets to hear that, because someone really needs your help here. And they're putting on a really brave face. Okay, right. So the first card you've got for your futures, this Temperance card. Beautiful card. Again, rising up out of all the old problems, making bad things into good things. It's my favourite card, actually, apart from the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, I think you're going to be on your own for a while, actually, in the future. Probably over this next week or two, you're going to be spending a lot of time by yourself. And yeah, I think you need to do that. I think you're going to have to do that. And I think over this next 2 weeks, it's probably going to be when this person's going to want to come in and talk to you. So you've got a lot to process in your mind. And you've got a lot to think about. If that's you with that job again, you've got to think all about that. Really take your time with these decisions. Stay with yourself. Try not to let anything get into your mind and bring you conflict and problems and things like that. Make sure your mind's clear. So that's what I'm getting there. And you've got the Seven of Cups under this, which is all about confusion. The other thing is, you've got lots and lots of decisions to make, lots and lots of options. I think you might have other job options as well. I really do. You've got lots of different things coming in. I'm getting lots of work things happening here. And it might be a little bit confusing for you. So again, take some time out. Be by yourself a lot. Don't talk to a lot of people about this, because I think you're going to get lots and lots of conflicting help, lots of conflicting information. Really just sit with yourself and think about this. Again, I said I wasn't going to talk about this, but I really think this offer that's coming in that has a problem in your past around that, I think that is a really good thing for you to go for, if that resonates with you. Yeah, you've really dealt with a lot of problems. You've really dealt with a lot of problems this year, I think. I'm getting that. And you've dealt with them in a much calmer way, because I think you've grown a lot spiritually. I'm just seeing that in the Temperance card. And I think probably a year ago you would have probably dealt with things in a much more angry way, or a much different way to what you do now. And I think that's why, because you're at this place spiritually. I'm just looking at this. I think that's probably why these big decisions are coming in now, because the decision you're going to have to make around this person that's coming back, it's a big one. It affects your future. And theirs as well. And the job decision's a big one as well. It really is. It's really going to affect where you're going to go financially. And, that's why I think with both of these things, you're going to put a lot of that anger, a lot of that tension, a lot of that bruised ego, because you were bruised as well, I have to say, with this love connection. You're going to have to put a lot of that aside and just be more spiritual about this. Be a lot calmer about this, be a lot more philosophical about this, and you're able to do this now. You wouldn't have been able to do this a year ago because you've grown so much spiritually. So what this is telling me is you're ready to make these decisions now. That's what I'm getting with the Seven of Cups and the Temperance card above that. You're above the confusion, you're above the problems, you're above all that. You're spiritually above that now. You're ready to make those decisions. So it looks like they're both coming in over the next 2 weeks. A big job decision and this love connection that's coming in. And yeah, with this love connection, they're going to approach you. They're going to approach you. I'm getting that very clearly. You're not going to approach them. You would never approach them anyway. Once you've shut the door, that's it. Even if you haven't shut the door in your heart, you've still shut the door physically, and once you do that, you don't go back. That's what you're like. But so they're going to come back to you. That's what I'm seeing for someone here. It looks like you might both go backwards and forwards a little bit, because you're both going to be kind of wobbling up and down a bit. That's what I'm getting with this. I'm looking at the Two of Pentacles again. So you're both going to be a little bit like wobbling up and down. I'm not sure about this. You've got the Lovers in the middle. So both of you, your hearts both want this. That's what I'm seeing in the Lovers card. But then again, you've got the Seven of Cups here, just looking across horizontally across the middle. So there's confusion, wobbling up and down. And then you've got the Lovers. Do I want this? Do I not? So you've got lots and lots of talks to do, both of you. If you say yes to them, if you say yes to even talking about them, or to them, I should say. But yet, again, take your time. Take your time. Don't let them rush you, because I think they really feel like, oh, I'm missing my chance. I'm missing my time. I want them to say yes, or the ship will sail again. I don't want that to happen. You've got to say to them, no, I'm willing to talk to you, but you've got to give me time. That's if you are. So, you've both got a lot to sort out, I think. But I think all the work's probably going to have to come from them, actually, because really, they're the one that turned their back on you initially. So that's what I'm getting there. But yeah, lots of talking to do. Lots of inner work's going to have to come from them more than you, because you've done the inner work, you've grown spiritually, and they haven't. So I think you're ahead of them in that way. So, I think what's going to happen is they're going to have to be very patient and wait for you. That's if you want to talk to them. But, you're probably listening to this saying, no, once I close the door, it's closed, it's closed, it's closed. And that's probably what you've said to them. But I'm literally seeing someone here. I don't know whether that's you, but it's someone here. You literally go to bed at night, you shut your eyes, and you think about them. You look on their social media, someone here does that. You're thinking about them a lot, whether you want to or not. That tells me there are still feelings there with you. So I'm not sure what's going to happen at the end of this. Very confusing, lots to sort out. They are going to approach you probably over the next 2 weeks. Also, this job's going to come in for someone probably over the next 2 weeks. I'm sticking my neck out. I'm talking about times and dates.